Hello and welcome. I'm Space Lion, and this is the Lion and Bear Report.
And I'm Kodiak. I was not introduced, but I'm here anyways.
I did that backwards. Totally messed that up. Normally I say this is the Lion Bear Report. I'm Space Lion.
Yeah,
That's a better.
that's what you normally do.
Yeah,
Not this week.
not this week. I'm gonna blame the cough syrup, the heavy duty cough syrup, and sparkling water that I'm drinking right now. Or something. But I also have a new mic, and hopefully that's coming through nice and clear. I don't know how it sounds to you.
Sounds good to me, but I'm not listening to the stream.
Yeah, yeah. Um, well, speaking of things that are good, did you have a good week?
Uh, I mean, I tied this week, so it's been better than the last 3 weeks.
Hmm.
Um, but it was a match that I got real close to winning, so it didn't feel great. Um,
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
that I yeah, so it was 1-1. And me going for my second touchdown. After so like I chose to kick, um, forced him to score reasonably quick, and then was able to like get up to 1-1 at the half. My drive, God, it's turn 15. I set myself up. I've got like half his pieces off the field. I have a
Hmm.
line of Nurgle warriors and then the cage on the other side of that,
Oh, wow.
right? Which would be like pretty good protection against vampires, of which there's only two left on the field.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
and which I have like beyond the line of Nurgle warriors, Rotters now like individually marking them.
Hmm.
Like I'm like
Hmm.
really set up. Um, what I was not set up for though was he basically did one hypno gaze to like make a dodge in a little bit less bad, but then he took Wilhelm Chaney, the like star player werewolf, just
Hmm.
clicked on my ball carrier
Oh,
and was
no.
like, let's see what happens. He dodges in on a 5+. No, he doesn't have dodge or anything. He just does it. Um, then it's a one die knockdown.
Oh, my
Ball hits the
gosh.
ground. He's got no recovery, of course, right? And it's
Right.
true for me to clear Cheney off because it's again the guy's standing in the middle of the cage. All I need to
Mm-hmm.
do is
Mm-hmm.
not roll, say, two ones in a row, and
Oh,
getting
my
the ball up
gosh.
into the end zone.
Yeah.
So that's of course exactly what I do. So that was a bit disappointing, right? Like
Yeah,
that's as
yeah,
close as you can get to scoring, and like not
right,
is just
right.
this hail mary play on his part, and then yeah, but he even said that like now I just need you to roll some ones, and it's like yep, that's what happened. So, but still, it's a tie. Better than the last time I played vampires. So
Yeah. Did you take any damage or get some development at least?
yeah, I mean, I have like an MNG rotor. I don't care about that.
Sure,
And
sure.
yeah, I actually no, it was actually great. The thing, this is the silver lining was part of my disappointment in not scoring that second time was I'd gotten the ball in a Pestigore that was at 3 SPP,
Mm.
and he's been like there for like the entire season, and I've been trying to
Oh
get him lower.
God. Yeah.
Doesn't
Don't I
score.
know
He
it?
gets MVP. He gets MVP. So
Oh,
so
nice.
that was really great.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just block, so it's not like some amazing thing, but that's still actually pretty nice. It's just having more
yeah,
reliability. So that was a real silver lining that I did get the level I wanted.
yeah. Get some going. That first level in Pestigores it always feels. But it never feels like the right time to like carry on a no skill Pestigore.
Yeah,
I'd imagine in tier two.
no, yeah, it's that's the thing. It's like it's really hard to justify giving it to him when I have a great ball carrier
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, who's got like two heads and AG4. So if people are extending his way,
Mm.
I've scored on him by just like running through.
Right, right, right,
'Cause
right.
it's just usually just two pluses even.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but so yeah, that was why I was so happy to be like able to get this guy there because now I can like say put him on the line for the opening blocks and have it be a one
Mm-hmm.
in 36.
Yeah.
I like because I don't like having three Nurgle warriors take the line of scrimmage blocks because it means they're all
Mm.
like because having three
Yeah.
Nurgle warriors in the center of the field is just that's too much strength in one place. I like
Right.
having like
Right.
one on each of the wings. And so
Yeah.
now I can do that, and I can have two LOS blocks by them and the beast in there. Because I also don't like doing hits with the beast because I want her
Right.
to like hold on to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah,
Um.
so it's
Yeah.
good in that sense. I'm now up against the Killer Nurgle team in the div. This is the Grunch
Mm.
Desserts who are
Oh
been around
yeah.
for some time.
Yep. Yep.
So we'll see how that goes.
All
16-man
apple
team,
pies.
multiple dirty player pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Um. Yeah. And welcome, Tim and Larso Pitpup, to the stream. we've got our
Providing two opinions on the best skill,
yeah,
block
yeah,
player. I think those are both competitive options.
yeah, yeah. Maybe we start a poll and see who goes for. But yeah, uh, so sounds like yeah, not not the best way for your week 7, but yeah, certainly not your worst. And I think
We'll talk about your week in a little bit.
yeah, we will, and not too long of a little bit. Um, but first, just a little bit of I guess we'll call it housekeeping. Um, just a little bit of an addendum to last week's what we learned. David LeClaire pulled up some additional numbers since last week. What we did learn was that there is a potential third spot for challengers. If
Second spot for challengers. Third
oh yeah,
place might go to challengers, just to be specific.
yes, thank you. Yeah, second challenger spot in the third place spot. If our third place team is in the top 9 of all tier 4, which I think is 12 teams. I think there's 6 tier 4 divs in each G-Min and REL. I
Yeah,
don't
and
think
Big O skips them, right? They just do tier 3.
I believe so. That's what they did last season, and I forgot to check for this season. But um, either way, out of 12, top 9 ain't bad. And so David did some math to put together what the similar to what I had done, where he looked at like the top and lower records for all of the third place teams in Div 4, and then looked at the average for the top 9. And what we saw is pretty similar. So that's that third line in this slide. What we saw is pretty similar, basically just a half step, not even a half step down from second place. So it's still really competitive at the top to try to make that make those post-season dreams come true. Can take, again, maybe another loss, maybe another draw, but still hovering in that 25 to 30 point range for postseason.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing earth-shattering, but still just something good to know. And wanted to add that as an addendum because, again, it's nice to have a different dream. If you come a little short on challengers, you could potentially still make it in. Don't give up yet. It could still happen. Yeah, exactly. Just what Ted Nilsson's saying. A draw instead of a win behind the second place team. So
Yeah.
cool. And I think with that, we're ready to move into the week.
Yep.
And indeed, I'm going to start out with my match this time.
Very good.
So, wow, what a match. This one started out pretty calmly, I'd say. Well, I did get... so the Elves Cross the Empire, Pandito, decided to kick first and go on defense. And I was able to get 2 KOs off the LOS, which definitely opened things up, but was nothing too dramatic. They were just linemen, after all, probably just loners, really. And then slowly started to march up the field. They really tried to beat on my Ulfs. So I had them kind of situated on the right side for me, and had, I think, at 1.5 of their elves between my 2 Ulfs. They were just trying to like really get a break there, and nothing doing.
Yeah, it was a little surprising considering that's like those are two of three AV8 pieces on the team. Everything else is AV7.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still scary for me because the
Oh,
Ulfs
sure.
Ulfs are. Uh, I feel like they break and KO themselves pretty frequently. But I was still like overall definitely happy, right? Because only two of my pieces are having to do work. The rest of the team basically just went around them, set up a cage on the left. I was able to like just push up field really quickly, um, and then just start chipping away at the elves. Turn four was like this weird, like glorious vortex where my blitz killed their thrower. Um, they had a, as you can see, they one of their inducements was an extra apo, so they apoed it, um, and that I think changed that one to the MNG, which you see, and then fouled their beautiful strength up, agility up catcher, and that killed that catcher. It's all on the same turn. It was like getting all my kill angst out. And but they again because they had the extra apple, they were able to use that, and that saved that catcher from death. And they it was put on the bench. So after both appos being gone on turn four, definitely open
Both to deaths,
both to
which was really
deaths.
wild.
Yeah, um, that just kind of opened things up a little bit. There was, and I was able to get a few more removals here and there. There was a scary moment where the wizard came out. I think it was turn six and KO'd the runner that I had with the ball. Um, I then tried to pick up with 666, who 1 and 9'd it on turn seven. And so turn eight, the elves blitz my other agility up runner and KO that. So I'm just looking at 666 saying, please, come on, buddy. Let's not do this. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, this is like turn eight. Turn eight after beating up on elves the entire half. And me thinking, I should have just scored instead of trying to draw this out and beat up on elves. But thankfully, 666 picks it up on the last turn and puts it in the end zone. Um, and so, going into this to the second half, up 1-0 felt a lot better for all of my efforts there. Second half wasn't too eventful. The elves didn't have a lot of pieces. I think they were at like 6, maybe. And they weren't really able to, they tried to set up downfield a little bit, but they were also kind of midfield with the ball in their half.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to get a lot of pressure on them on their half with my strip ball runner. Got the ball free, but couldn't get it myself. They were they were able to pick it up and get midfield with a scoring threat in place. But I chose to go after the ball instead of the scoring threat and managed to come up with it, and then drive down and get a touchdown on my elf, which helped get them over the edge finally.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, that and also the runner got the MVP, and that put them over the edge for a level 2 was a good feeling because I've been trying to get that second level, or not second level, but get that next level after strip ball to kind of make it a more efficient defensive piece. So that really helped with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like both of these levels a lot. Like that tackle, like I felt like tackle should have come before strip ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But if he had tackle, I think strip ball would have been a fine choice now. So it's like now that piece is like really dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, I think break tackle is, I would not have been unhappy if you went stand firm on both of them. But I
Mm.
think break tackle makes a lot of sense to have one that's more of a safety.
Yeah, yeah,
and one that's more of like a hard corner or like sideline control because he can't get served, without Juggernaut at least.
yeah.
Like I think that's a good pair.
Yeah, I was tempted to do Stand Firm again because it's been so useful. It's been so noticeable having one with Stand Firm and the other
Yeah,
without.
yeah,
I'm like, oh man, I wish that other one had Stand Firm. But I've also been in situations where I'm like, oh, I really need to break. I really need to get one of these free, and without having without having break tackle, it just wasn't obviously a good choice to try to dodge them out from anywhere.
yeah.
Um, so now, yeah, that makes it the mobile guard piece and the not going anywhere guard piece. I think is a pretty good combo. Um, and Tim saying that he's surprised I haven't taken Mighty Blow on them. It is really tempting to do so, but they are such good utility pieces that
Mhm.
it's I think overall for like being able to come up with those in the moment plays that you need, it's I think really good to have your alls kind of as these like utility knives. Um, but yeah, it does help them level up faster. It would be a lot of fun um, to do that. But yeah, I tend to use them more like taking a lot more hits and kind of fitting into places and having my blitzers do all the hitting. So
Yeah, I also there is something the level argument of like take Mighty Blow, they level faster, but I like like I do that on say a Nurgle Warrior, but like that's an AV9 piece with regeneration and foul appearance. Like that is an
yeah.
extremely survivable piece on a team that's supposed to go on for like season after season after season. I've admittedly been just bleeding Nurgle Warriors, but that's like an exception. Um, and whereas Norse can implode so bad
Yeah,
that sort of
yeah,
like long term thing where it's like, well, it doesn't help his role as much, but it's to make him better in the future. I'm more nervous about on a Norse team,
yeah.
particularly given that you have two like mighty blow blitzers and your berserkers, and the Yeti gets it as skill one, assuming he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
roll doubles or something.
Right. Yeah.
Not that it's like a bad idea to do mighty blow, but
Right.
just
Right. 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 Yeah.
that's why I lean away.
Yeah. I mean, block guard is 100% what I would do with Ulfs if I had to rebuild one. I would 100% take block again, 100% take guard second. It's just block makes them so much more reliable, and you obviously need guard on this team wherever you can get it. So those two skills are like done deals for me, and then because they've kind of fit into that role, I don't. Yeah, Mighty Blow seems like an afterthought, but it would be fun. Strength 4 Mighty Blow is a lot of fun, um, but it's just not how I've been using them. So I
Yeah,
can, yeah, can definitely see the argument for it though.
yeah. And if you were to do that, you would have to do it as like at the latest the second skill. And at the point you're
Right,
selecting that,
right.
like guard is so attractive. You are so desperate to have guard on the team because you're going up. You're starting to hit like orc teams and a bunch of and lizard teams where they're just like guards starting to spread all over the place.
Absolutely, yeah. So
But yeah, I say yeah. Congrats on the win on this. I think this is one that you kind of needed to win if you wanted to have a good season.
yeah.
But like you did so handily, 2-0 is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, you got some good improvement, and nothing too bad happened to Pandita, right? Like one M&G.
Yeah.
There were two deaths, but they both got better. That
Yep.
made that one in
Yep.
apothecary a really good buy.
Yeah. They definitely roll with the punches pretty well, but I could tell they were pretty frustrated with how things have been going. Just really not being able to keep a full team. Um, I think is always frustrating, and that's definitely what's been happening here. Um, so the thrower going to miss next week, which isn't it's just an M&G. It's not broken, but still just not being able to have all your pieces for a match
Yeah,
kind of feels yeah kind of feels like a spiral.
and the two pieces that are going to be coming back this week are both armor busted and have at least one niggle, which means they just
Yeah.
don't stick around very long. Whereas the thrower is like a healthy piece that has a really great role that it can fill.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
And yeah, I would say like, I don't think like you diced him this match, but there was some like there were some unfortunate things that happened to him. Like
Yeah.
the casuals being so front loaded as they were was like that certainly made his game harder. I think this was the kickoff at the second half. Like the ball landed like on the line.
Oh, was that
And
that?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like I believe that like two elves got a chance to catch it, and like it was just like and
Oh,
like it bounced
yes.
back and forth between them, so they each got two shots at it.
Yeah.
Four failures on this. It was a bunch
Yeah.
of tackle zones, so it made
Yeah.
sense, but it was still just like seeing them like I don't got it. Okay, I don't have it either. You try again, just back and forth.
Yeah, that was
And
pretty
then
good.
their next action was a double skull
Oh my gosh, yeah.
where he tried to re-roll it, loner fails, and
Yeah.
it's just like man, those elves did not want to play that turn.
No. Yeah, I think that was turn 8. I think is
Oh
what that
yeah, yeah.
was. Because
That was like
that would have really opened things up. But yeah, that was turn 8. So I don't think they were set up for one turn, but it was still just like
okay,
a
yeah.
pretty good synopsis for how their season's been going. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
like nothing as intense as that the rest of the game, but just sort of like just not going well for them.
yeah, yeah. I think there was a point in the first half where because I committed to, I think it was after that turn 4, I committed to that foul because I really wanted to foul Tabellion, Walla Walla, whatever, strength up, agility up. It's just like draws in fouls,
Everyone's
right?
been doing that all season.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Armor value 6. Let's get on it. So I set up my cage adjacent to it, but I was also setting up my cage to be against a fireball. So like it was all kind of wobbly, and then realized after all that I left open a corner for them to blitz, or actually a pretty wide avenue for them to blitz. And so they set up a 2-die blitz on it, and then failed a dodge that they used to reroll on. It was just a 2+, I'm pretty sure, and then failed the GFI that they needed to make the blitz. So they had some moments where it's just like, nope, just Nuffle says nope. But yeah, they were a good sport, and hopefully they can turn it around. Though Tim is just gonna go step on them with his murderous rats.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's move on to the next match.
Hmm.
And this was, oh yeah, what else? And chores. This was a big one.
Yeah.
I don't remember which way we called this, but I don't think it was. There wasn't a clear favorite. And if there was, it wasn't going to be David here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like I'm surprised that it was a straight up loss. Like a tie would not have surprised me.
Yeah, yeah.
It would seem to me this would either be a tie or maybe slightly more likely Pipim winning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is not how it went.
Nope.
Did you get to see this one?
I remember seeing parts of it, but I think this was played. This was played right after a recap, and I was not feeling 100%, so I don't remember too much of it.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. So the first half, the Wood Elves. Right. Okay. So yeah, so it's basically the Chorfs are on offense, and there was sort of like a funny pitch invasion in which, that like it knocked down like a number of Chorfs and one elf, and the like three Chorfs, one elf, and the one elf that got knocked down was the one of the ones that's about to take a line of scrimmage hits
Oh
from
man.
a Claw Mighty Blow. Right. So a stun's actually a pretty good result.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was definitely some complaining about that on the stream.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They're just sort of like it's just like a bad feel to start with, and then yeah, basically the Chorfs struggled to gain forward momentum. It took to the second quarter for them to get the ball across the line of scrimmage, and
Yeah.
then like the second quarter is stalled by the Wood Elves pull off a successful cage dive to knock the ball free. It's like the ball ends up staying in the cage, and the Chorfs are able to get it back. But it's like that's just like time wasted trying to like get that Wood Elf out of there, get the ball back, and all of that. And the Wood Elves apply enough pressure that the Chorfs just can't get it done.
Didn't the Wood Elves? Am I remembering right that the Wood Elves had a chance to score, to counter score with the ball?
I don't think so in the. I don't think so.
Not in the
I
first
don't.
half. Okay.
No, my notes are that the ball basically like stayed in the middle of the cage. I don't remember what
Mm,
else getting their hands on it.
okay.
Um, there's second half. The elves hold deep, and once the Chorfs apply pressure, um, they actually there's actually a moment of like excitement for them where there's a snaked elf dodge on turn 10.
Mm.
Um, it gave the Chorfs a blitz on the ball carrier, but they just didn't go down.
Oh man.
And so the Wood Elves then like the next turn literally move the ball from their end zone, which is where they end up after the blitz, to the
Mm.
Chorf end zone to score.
Oh, I do remember this because they blitzed with the bull centaur and like pinned him up in the end zone, but
Yeah.
they just dodged out.
Though there was a sort of an odd decision to not re-roll the 2 die. Um, because
Yeah.
it was something that was succeeding either a power or both down. Like the piece had dodge and this was a blitz by a bull centaur, so no tackle.
Hmm.
Um, but it didn't have block.
Oh.
And so it was actually I probably would have re-rolled it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think he just I don't know was feeling bad that it didn't work and didn't
Yeah.
want to burn another one.
Yeah.
So I think we started to get maybe a little low,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I still probably would have done it.
Well,
Um,
yeah, because I think you got to figure Alf BS is gonna reign if you don't if you're gonna go after the ball instead of like the potential receiver, then you got to get that ball carrier down,
right.
or else it's yeah, you just got to assume the Elves are gonna capitalize.
Uh,
So yeah, I would have done the same thing. I would have re-rolled too.
yeah, and actually think about it, they can't have been low on rerolls because it was turn like 10.
Right, 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 right.
So they uh, like they could have both spent one. Um, but yes, the Wood Elves then they're in their end zone. They score in the other end zone that same turn, and then the Chorus have another drive. It doesn't go any better than the first one, basically.
Mm, mm,
It's just again they managed not to get turned over and scored on, but it's just
yeah. Yeah, David's saying he thinks the Chorfs had two. I think you're right. I think this was.
he probably
Yeah,
did use one the first turn
I think he
and
used
like
it
turn
on.
9.
I think he used it on a tree um, uphill.
Mm,
I think I remember that happening. I'm pretty sure that happened in the second half where he was just like, just feeling the salt and was like, had two like claw pieces ready and raring to go and just uphilling the tree with them.
yeah, that makes sense. And David Leclerc is saying yes. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's certainly it's hard to go down to one reroll on turn 10, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the time you do that is when you have a blitz on the ball carrier. And I think
Yeah,
he realized that
yeah.
eventually, like, oh, maybe I should have rerolled that after he scored.
Right, 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 right.
I get the instinct to be like, I already spent the one that I'm willing to use in the first 2-3 turns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. It's like your core instinct is telling you not to do it, and so you have to like I don't know have it worked out beforehand almost, or otherwise
Yeah.
that's gonna take over. But yeah, and so the Chorfs had how much time after that to try to counter score?
So that would have been they scored on turn 11, so that would have been Chorfs would have had that would have been 6 turns,
Hmm.
but they couldn't do it in 8. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, one of the big questions that we had about this match was like what David Clare's team was going to look like. If you remember, like there was still potential of Michael Jackson being in this. They had enough cash to get a treatment. Were they going to do that, um, or were they going to spend money on? Um, I think they could have. I think they even had enough to do like a stadium enhancement if they wanted
mhm.
to. But yeah, we see the tree get bought, which I think David's been talking about wanting to get a tree on his team for a bit, and Michael Jackson um, being sent off to retirement. Oh yeah, and also got a fresh catcher, so
Yep.
which is Ash, I
So,
believe. Yeah.
RIP to Michael Jackson. Uh,
Yep.
you were good when you while you lasted.
Yeah, not the only market acquisition to die this week either. Well, I mean, I guess not not the same sort of death, but not the only.
To retire.
Yes, to be yes, to be sent off. But yeah, so I think a little bit of a results bias here, but it does look like that fresh look was a good fit for certainly for this matchup to get him the win. The tree did all sorts of work, at least in like tying up blockers
Those
and
tree
just
mens
being
have been a real problem for uh, Pimp
to,
Pimp.
yeah, he had a problem with Ravenpo's first tree this season as well.
Yeah. So yeah, good pickup, good time to get it. This was a good match to have that. Yeah, and yeah, nice win for David Leclerc.
Yeah, and Pim Pip getting a couple levels out of it.
Yeah.
Probably not ones he's like over the moon about. Um,
Yeah,
but
you don't need two dirty player hobgoblins. One is fine.
right,
But
piling on Peter Cook is it's fun.
yeah,
Might
he's been complaining about not getting removals. Hopefully that'll help.
yep. So yeah,
Makes sense to be like, I am worse at this than I would like to be. Let us invest. Let's try to get better.
yeah, absolutely, and yeah, makes this team a little, that much more scarier.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, moving on to our next match. Oh, yeah, this was a big one. I really wanted to see this one, but I could not get myself out of bed for it.
Yeah.
Good
So
work,
this one.
Orange, taking it to Flyboys.
Yeah. So yeah, this one. Yeah, as you can see, the big news: Mike Hawk dying. This was a market purchase. He did. I think he was just blocking guard at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And got mighty blow. But he did good work. But he didn't make it. The apple was eaten earlier by actually the previous turn by Air Power taking he took an agility bust.
Huh.
And the apple went to him. I think not. I'm confident in order to get rid of the agility bust, but because it's so hard for Klepto to play without the ogre, and he didn't want to eat the mistake. He wanted him back in for the rest of the match and the next match.
Yeah.
But the alternate was MNG, which is didn't fix the actual problem he had, but you take it instead of the agility bust given that you already used it. And yeah, next turn, Mike Hawk dies. Chalkbird celebrates us not having to giggle through saying the name anymore. And turn 6, Wizard comes out as offensive Wizard, because this is the humans' offensive drive.
Wow.
And they would advance it pretty slowly. They want to get a little bit further ahead. But most of the chaos stays standing, and in order to so the chaos are kind of pushed into the cage some at this point.
Yeah.
And the ball carrier ends up trying to dodge to free himself. 1 and 9s it, and hits the ground. At which point, chaos easily gets control of the ball, gets their cage together, and they end up scoring on turn 8.
Gosh.
And then second half, the story is basically there's not really a lot of detail I'm going to go through. They start the drive up 1-0. They have 9 players to the human 6.
Oh, jeez.
And so things just keep snowballing, and yeah, they're able to score easily again. And yeah, I would say the sort of the key decision that I think we saw in this game was that Troxburghs really identify that Air Power needed to go, that he was niggled, and we've got Hessenite with Claw and Mighty Blow and piling on. And just to send him after Air Power whenever he got the chance.
Yeah.
To get that guy off the field, because he is so much he just controls the field so much for the humans.
Right. Right.
And yeah, he was not taking hits with him in order to have him, if he couldn't get at the ogre, in order to have him free to get at the ogre next turn.
Oh wow.
So he was playing really disciplined. Blood Bowl that way. And then it was turn 5. He air powers one of the corners of the cage. Hess Knight goes in, hits him, gets him out of the match.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, so I thought that was good play.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's one thing where it requires like the dice to work out eventually for you. That's always that's the thing with Bash, right? Is you can never win using Bash off of safe moves.
Yeah.
He made a good call of where to focus, and it paid off because once the ogre was off the field, like the humans, it really became a problem for the humans to stand up to the Chaos Warriors' strength.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with as much guard as they have.
Disappointing loss of Mike Hawk. Air power being out of game is a problem. The catcher getting sidestep is fine. It's a fine skill for him to have.
Yeah.
But nothing like amazing. And on the other side, no advancement for Chalksbirds. And frankly, the MVP on a dirty player is exactly where you don't want it. Like you're really hoping he does not get another level.
Yeah. Yeah. Was interested to see the scumming of a wizard here.
Yeah, and I don't think it got him like a fantastic amount.
Yeah. We didn't suggest that, did we?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, I believe we suggested an extra apothecary.
Oh, we totally did. Oh, wow.
In which case, Mike Hawk might still be alive.
Oh my gosh, we're prophets of doom. We are.
Yeah. I don't think it would have changed the winner for Mike Hawk to come back. Air Power got his Apo if he had stayed in.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and that didn't keep him on the field, which we said was kind of a game changer for the humans.
Okay, so David Leclerc describing the wizard as a rage wizard. I was interpreting it as a tactical play to be able to advance up the field. He does have a point that I do remember. There was like Hess Knight was in that like wizard, was in that fireball.
Oh, fireball rage wizard.
Yeah.
That's interesting. On offense.
Yeah.
4-man fireballs aren't tactical. Yeah.
If he knocked them all down, he could have like moved up the field nicely. And so I was willing to consider the possibility that that's what he was going for. But you were probably right that it was simply I would like to kill some chaos pieces.
Yeah, please, Mr. Wizard.
But yeah, nice win for Chalksbirds.
Absolutely.
As we'll see on the leaderboard, this has him very nicely positioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. Moving on to the next match. Oh, we got Ratsa Nim versus Sterling Hornets. And we see Skitter. I think we were talking about that for them for this match. I mean, 500. You have so many options: Skitter, Merc, Wizard. It did good for the Wizard and 2 Bloodweiser Babes.
Yeah. One thing he did not get was a second apothecary.
Yeah. People need to start carrying those around. I mean, my opponent did, and that worked out pretty handily.
Yeah, because the apothecary ended up going to a fairly early badly hurt on Martin Brisby, the natural one-turner.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I need this thing in the game to be able to win.
Yeah.
And so that got the power Apo. And then shortly there, and then actually pretty late in the match. It was in the 4th quarter. Mrs. Brisby gets surfed, and fucking home field crowd. Yeah, the home field crowd, right, is like, I'm gonna kick Mrs. Brisby to death. Like worst fans in the game.
That's amazing.
But this one. The Rats receive. They set up for their one turn. This is what we've seen from them all season is let's just put Martin on the line, get him the ball, he'll score, then we'll play defense for, you could play defense for like 16 turns, right? You score on your turn 1 and your turn 16.
Yep.
I guess it's defense for 15 turns, but close enough. Basically they before they do all of that stuff with the ball, the Rat Ogre takes a hit. You might, and 1 in 36s. They use the reroll and it gets through loader, but then he won in nines.
Oh no.
And so yeah, the ball's on the ground. The Rats try to reassemble their drive on turn two because now like the one turn isn't going to happen because Martin Brisby gets knocked down. And they can't really manage a cage. And the following turn, ball hits the ground and the Elves gain control of it. There's a bit of a scrum. There was actually one really beautiful turn where the Skaven knock it free from an Elf who's carrying it, and it scatters into the hands of the Roger. So it was like
Oh.
I was like, please God, let the Roger score. That'd be
Oh
so
my
beautiful.
gosh.
But no, he's next turn the Strength 4 Elf, just like knocks. Well, one of the Strength 4 Elves, I forget which one, um, knocks him over. Actually, are the catchers Strength 2 naturally?
No, they're strength 3. They're
Okay, so yeah,
beautiful.
so yeah, one of the two of those. I think it was the lineman.
Okay.
Just knocks him over.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and that was when the Apo goes to the one turner because he was on the field when he was not should not have been. Well, not that he
Yeah.
shouldn't have been. That was a mistake, but simply the plan was for him to score and then immediately get off,
Yep. Yep.
and that didn't happen. And so yeah, the elves. Um, yeah, yeah. My recollection is yeah, the elves. No, actually, I think no one scores in the first half. Um,
Oh.
let me check my notes. I'm sorry.
I mean, both teams can score pretty fast, so.
Okay, no. Yeah, no, they okay, yes, so yes, they scored. Sorry, my notes were a little disorganized. Yeah, so they go ahead and score at the end of the Skaven drive.
The
And then
pro
yeah, their
elves.
drive, yeah, the pro elves do.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they ultimately ended up getting the ball off of the Skaven,
Yeah.
getting under control, scoring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, second half, yeah, it's now their drive. Uh, hold deep. The wizard actually comes out as a fireball again. So there's like this like half cage for in the elf half, and it gets down to ball carrying one of them, but the one elf that stayed up just catches the ball,
Ah.
and there's no good blitz on him.
Hmm.
So the elves keep the ball under control. By the start of the fourth quarter, they've really got the ball pretty safely, like locked down, and are just like continuing to work over moving Rats from the field. That's when Mrs. Brisby dies to the surf.
Ah.
Um, and then yeah, the elves score on turn 16, but thanks to Martin Brisby having been power appoed, he's around and he wants turns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and the rats lose a storm vermin as well.
Yes. As we'll see when we get to the team, that's the one that got replaced, the Storm Vermin.
Oh,
That he
yeah.
had enough money for one, but not both.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume the idea is he needs something that can take a hit.
Yeah. And can give a hit too.
Right.
Um,
More important to block than dodge at this point.
yeah, yeah, I think so. Plus, you got Justin, who's just gotta go fast. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
Sonic the
Justin.
Hedgehog of gut runners.
And Martin Brisby just saying that, like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I got this.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe this.
having one of them that can do it with one push is still pretty valuable in case
Mm-hmm.
you can't keep Martin Brisby on the field.
Yeah,
But it's of significant lesser value given that he exists.
yeah, yeah. Maybe there is like some weird meta we've been missing that is two one turner cutter
Yeah,
runners.
yeah. Um, but yeah, it's like why? Yeah, Justin, why couldn't you? Like, the wrong rat died. Like, Justin,
Yeah,
why couldn't you
why
have
could it
died
have been
to say
you? Yeah, totally.
Mrs. Brisby could still be with us?
Totally. Even the freaking Merc got killed.
Yeah,
Frick,
yeah. Fortunately,
man.
if there's going to be three deaths, at least one of them was on a
Goodness, yeah. Clown Cthulhu just can't leave
just,
people's teams alone.
and he's got no mighty blow. He just does it
None.
anyways.
Yeah,
He just casually does this amount of damage. I can't do this much damage with Nurgle.
right.
And it's
Right.
like he's just doing
It's like,
like I haven't gotten a free rotter, and I can't remember how long.
yeah.
And it would have been three this match.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so in addition, and I'm just, you know, looking through this again, because I mean, obviously your eyes go to the Storm Vermin and the Gutter Runner, those are the important
Two other
pieces.
injuries.
But you also had a movement bust happen on the kick rat.
Yep.
And just another random rat, just like, yeah, you're niggled too. Like, it's just so like, okay, we're not doing badly hurts here, are we? Um, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's so rough.
Yeah. Yeah, David Leclerc pointed out that giving up 68 blocks is a lot. Um, some of that is that's kind of the way Clown Cthulhu plays, is he bases up a ton
Yeah.
and doesn't always make it easy to get away. And he probably played a better game of like agility bash
Yeah.
than Opie Cubby does. Just as a better team for it. He's
He's
got all that block.
he's totally set up for it better than
Um,
and the
and
Skaven
so
can't get away necessarily. Like
and there was a ton of hits in the first half where basically Skaven were totally on their heels after they couldn't do the one turn. They were just desperately trying to get things under control. And Clown Cthulhu played that really well, keeping the pressure on him in such a way that he got to make a lot of good hits. And Opie Cubby didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, really strong showing for Sterling Hornets. Like this was Rats of Nim were a team that just beat the team that was in the top. That's Tim's Goblins.deck. And, has tied mostly everybody else. And to come in and just stomp on them and take the win is a big statement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hats off to Sterling Hornets. And, they got what? One Lyman, MNG'd, and that's it. And then some nice levels. Good list.
Oh, God. Yeah, white. Yeah, it's like, what is this team missing? Well, the one thing they're kind of missing is they don't have that agility up piece. Oh, okay. You want your movement up piece that already has dodge to get it? That sounds good.
Yeah, it was basically like picking. Like couldn't do better picking them himself. I don't think. And the thrower getting safe throw is fine.
Yeah. Totally cool level.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have considered accurate maybe, but I think
yeah. Oh, I probably would have taken accurate too, but yeah.
And it does kind of fit with his like bashy in the mix of it style, that he's more likely to end up like tossing over a dude than like super long bombing it, I think. But
yeah, I agree.
And I assume accurate is next.
Yep. Yeah. And Tim stopping in to say this team is so gross right now. It's true. And I was peeking ahead. Do you know that we don't see Sterling Hornets versus Goblins.deck till the very last match of the season?
Oh, that's exciting. I had not looked ahead of next week. That's fun.
Yeah. So that could be a really big match. As we'll see when we get to Tim's match. He had a statement game of his own. And we seem to be seeing a little bit of a separation for our top teams.
Yeah.
Tim saying he has to survive orcs and chorfs first. Well, to hear it from the chorf coach, you don't have anything to worry about there.
Well, now he's got pilot on, so it's going to be.
Oh yeah, true. That's
completely different.
Yeah, it's going to reverse the paradigm. I mean, who knows? Maybe. So, yeah, should be. Well, yeah. Obviously, second half of the season is going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, all right. Well, let's get to the next match here. And yeah, there it is. Probably should have queued that up a little bit better, but I kind of did.
This match.
This match is right. I don't know if I saw this game or if I just dreamed it, because there's a lot of medicine flying around in my household, and I think I tuned in at one point to this and was like, what is happening? Yes, I did see the almost 6-1 happen.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, which at the time, I don't think we knew the result of Clown Cthulhu's match. And like that 6-1 would have like put you, Tim, right up there in terms of TD differential. I mean, 5-1 still did put you in the same same block. But yeah, Snake the Pass to score in turn 16. I don't know. Did you watch this whole thing?
I did. Yeah, I've seen all of this.
Okay, so walk me through it if you can.
All right. Yeah. So the this one thing I'll say is that we have this war dancer. You can see like that took that armor bust.
Yeah.
that was one of those fun ones where you go to the apothecary and you're like, what can you do about this? It was a little better than usual. Normally they're like, how would you like to die? This
Yeah.
time they were like, would you like an armor bust? Um,
To
so
it. Wait, it was an armor bust to an armor bust?
yes,
Wow. Okay.
so that was him being cute.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so yeah, the Wood Elves start out with the ball. Um, their first turnover, because there's going to be a number of them, is on turn 3. It's failed pass. Um, they actually get it back off the ground when a gutter runner fails a dodge and can't quite get to the ball. So it's like this is like this seems like the first, because I already knew the score when I was watching this, and I'm like, okay, this is the first time they lose it. They actually managed to score this time.
Oh.
So yeah, they on turn 4 they get their first and only touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
Which means for me watching this, it's like, okay, I'm about to see 5 Skaven touchdowns. I
Oh
wonder how
my
that happens.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say side note, because I'd recently come off my Nurgle match when I was watching this. Seeing a gutter runner be able to stand just like a few squares up from the midfield line and be in scoring range with no GFIs, it's really hard to look at sometimes, and not
Yep.
just like have your heart a little bit, because like I need to work a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, yeah. The Goblin Duck deck, they get the ball, they easily 2-turn, they score on turn 5. So yeah, turn 6, it's a kick to the elves. Skaven get a blitz. Um, Kiki Jiki is great for responding those with his leap. He gets right under the ball. They get some other rats under the ball, and like basically all but a cage around him. Like they can't do one corner because it's too close to the line of scrimmage, but it's
Yeah.
very close to the cage. And yeah, so yeah, so they managed to catch it, and then on their turn 6, Kiki Jiki just goes on and scores. Right, he's a beast. Leap 2+ leap 2+ dodge. He's in the end zone.
Yeah.
Turn 7, there's actually this one is one where I wouldn't put, like, the blitz was just nothing you can do about that. This team's built to take advantage of that. Turn 7, Ravenpoe, he doesn't quite set his screen up enough to totally shut out the Skaven. And Triform Cutter just runs around the side. There's a couple of like 2+ dodges, but not even like GFIs. Gets the ball to the ground. Who's right there to hop over the line of scrimmage and go get it? Yep, Kiki Jiki. He gets it though only after the Skaven set up a screen with another gutter runner on the far side of it. So yeah, Kiki Jiki grabs the ball, runs it over, passes it to that guy, and the rats are able to score on turn 8. So they come out of the Wood Elf drive 3-1.
Oh my gosh.
Second half, they 3-turn. Not a lot of excitement there. Just like it's not that hard. 4-1. So that's just there's just one more turnover and Skaven touchdown. The elves are making their line of scrimmage hits. They 1-9, and who goes and picks it up? Kiki Jiki, who gets his second touchdown of the match, which, as you can see, gets him to level 6.
Exciting.
So yeah, at that point, that's what the score is going to be. It's 5-1. Ravenpoe attempts a pass. Snake Eyes. Skaven goes to run over, tries to get it, but they try to do their own vanity pass, and they get Snake Eyes on that, and that's the match.
Yeah. And that was like at the end zone, right? Like the pass would have scored
Yes,
and made it 6-1.
exactly.
Yeah.
There was a I believe it was
Ridiculous.
Goblin Trashmaster was in the end zone.
Yes, it definitely
And
was.
there was, I forget who did the pass, but someone else went to send him a pass, and just didn't.
Might have been Kiki Jiki, but yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah. Oh
Though I don't know why
gosh.
I don't think you would pass with Kiki Jiki, who's already level 6.
Oh, that's true.
But
That's true.
I think it might have been someone else, one of the other two. But
Yeah.
whoever it was, so this one got real close to 6-1. I mean, it also that required like a Snake Eyes also on the elf part to get there, and it was undone by a Snake Eyes on the Skaven part.
Yeah.
And I certainly would say this game had bad dice this game. I think they also like took really great advantage of everything, and could punish like little things in the way most teams can't. So I'm not saying it's like, again, it's not even like a dicing. It was just they were able to get like a little bit of luck here and there and just like brutalize the Wood Elves with it.
Yeah. It's like nightmare scenario for any team, much less a team that's prone to fall over and hurt themselves. But
Yeah, Tim Nielsen saying he could have scored on Red Cap, but wants to score on Trashmaster, get him a level, get him Dauntless, which would be really good. Though you do want to level Murderous Red Cap, I'm sure, in order to get an actual natural one turn.
yeah, he's trying to like resist the meme effect, I guess. But yeah, I mean, even the breaks, like the breaks were even on less succeeded blocks for Goblin's deck, and like the injuries were like worse for the elves. Though I don't know if those injuries were necessarily on blocks. But
Yeah, I don't know.
that lineman you probably have to fire. The war dancer you keep. I guess obviously if they picked a skill for it. And yeah, nothing all that big for Goblin's deck.
Tim Newsom, I absolutely agree. That you want to get that second level for Goblin Trashmaster, and he's harder to. He makes less sense to score with than some of the others who have like better ability to get into the end zone. So I totally agree with it. I just think after that, get him a touchdown next game, and then Red Cap being a natural one turner would be huge. Like that is actually a huge advantage, and he would be an amazing one with 2 heads.
Yeah.
Because those can be like the hardest rolls you make in that, right? Is the dodges. So getting to ignore the first tackle zone is huge.
Yeah, Tim's team is gross. Glad I'm done playing that. I guess probably has some cash, enough cash now to probably buy another lineman. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing too critical that you really need to build unless you want to rebuild something. But I don't think you do. I think you just let nature take its course.
Everything's set up nice. Kiki Jiki will die at some point. The armor bust and the niggle will do him in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think once you're at 160, whenever you go over 150, you just buy a line rat.
Yeah, and then hold on to the rest. Cool. Well,
yeah. Congrats to Tim Nielsen. That's huge, and it does. A win that big was really like valuable in this playoff race. It closed the gap a lot with Sterling Hornets.
Yep, definitely.
As we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely feel dirty even just looking at this whole score line. But yeah, I think for both them and for Sterling Hornets, big statement games this week. Taking care of business and in how they took care of business. I think really setting themselves apart.
Yeah.
In my mind, at least. So. All right. Now we're on to next match. Mean, Green, and Thick versus the Skaven Rat Rodents. Wow. Really had to squeeze some things onto this sheet, huh?
Yeah. Furious Fred is hard to accommodate. Like I tried to leave it. I'm like, well, I only need 6 spots, right? Because that's as many skills as you can get practically.
Right.
And it's like, oh no, some people carry an incredible number of injuries and then take more.
And then take more in the game, which Yep. Well,
and I love that we look at Fred and it's like, God, that guy is not long for this world. But it's Triple X Gentation
who just died. I think that wasn't that like the first block I watched?
That was turn 1,
yeah. I watched probably like the first 30 minutes of this because my match was happening kind of halfway through. But why don't you take us through a little bit?
Yeah, so the Khemri received first. The opening hits go really well. Gentation dies. He does not have Apo rights. He's just a lineman.
Yeah.
They're AV9. You don't think they're going to die very much, but when they do it happen, they do. And there was a KO. Khemri spent the first half out removing the orcs, but kind of in doing so, they end up not protecting the ball very well, and they keep leaving lines of attack on it. So yeah, eventually near the end of the first quarter, it hits the ground. Orcs swarm it, and there's just basically a lot of fighting back and forth around the ball. It keeps scattering, this way and that way. Can we eventually get it up on turn 6 after having removed some more orcs from the field?
Hmm.
Um, but they have this like partial cage that's also based, and the orcs two died again, um, and get it down again. Can we then eventually get it under control once more? It's actually the next. This was just like a straight error in play. It's just one of those things that happens. Of
Yeah.
Craig Pipot ran out of time and didn't make
Yeah.
all of his moves,
Yeah.
and the ball carrier didn't advance.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah. I saw that happen. It was pretty brutal. Looked like
yeah,
they
which
were at, like a clicked partial movement, and then like we're
yeah,
gonna like do the rest of it, and the timer towards the end of level is just brutal with that.
yeah. So yeah, they ran out of time. They don't get up. They have to do two. They have to basically do a bunch of like blocks to clear a path, and then do two GFIs in order to
Mm-hmm.
score. And the first one fails, reroll succeeds, but then the second one fails.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Brutal.
it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's a tripwire. It was also the case they'd done like a ton of like dice before then just to make it possible.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying like it shouldn't have succeeded or whatever, like that. But it's worth remembering that, right? That like it's a shame when it's literally the last action that
Yeah.
screws you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we are being asked, did the sound just cut out for anyone else?
Hmm.
By Tim Nielsen.
That's
If
weird.
that is the case for someone else, they should let us know. Okay,
Okay. It's
just a
back.
temporary thing. Um, okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that was that was the first half. They come out of it 0-0. Second half, there's a riot. That actually makes things a little bit easier for the orcs because it cuts a turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, so they hustle to the sideline. There's a bit of a scrum there for a while. Khemri tried to apply a lot of pressure. They managed to surf a black orc, but the orcs ultimately slip through, and they get set up near the end zone with the ball on like turn 13. It took a couple of orc dodges to get it done, but
Mm-hmm.
orcs aren't always terrible at it, and it was like with blitzers and that, not like black orcs.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
but they were able to get set up well enough that you see kind of typical pit pup fourth quarter, um, where it seems like it was like, well, I'm not going to win this, so I'm just going to kill shit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
make good hits, foul a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the apothecary goes to Nuke Dog for he was going to take an armor bust.
Oh. Wow. Yeah.
Um, and then Gojira scores. He did some. He chose specifically to score on Guai Li, which I thought was interesting. It turned
Hmm.
out actually to work in that. So they were 8 away from a level. So that got them to 5 away, and then they happened to get the MVP.
Oh. Wow.
So,
Interesting.
so now that means it is there for the next game. But my initial reaction was like, this is your person, this is your killer. They produced their own SPP. Like put
Yeah. Yeah.
score on G Cole, right, or Dr. Gray. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it was fine. And they won the match, which is what's important.
Yep.
Um,
And they got doubles on the level.
and G Cole admittedly should be able to way to find to get to level them up. They're one SPP away from a level.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
So
Yeah.
hopefully just get a bandy pass or something. But that meant that
Yeah.
touchdown would have leveled them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't need to harp on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it will be nice to have Guai Li have jump up. It makes piling on an easier decision.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's their score 1-0.
Yeah.
Nice win.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice win.
Only perm is a dead lineman, which you can live with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I know they like Gojira's talked about, or at least was talking about after the week before last, how they seem to keep tying everybody, and then they come into Camry, who is usually that's usually a team that you tie against as orcs, I would think.
Yeah.
And comes out with the win, so that feels good.
Yeah.
For Craig Pippup, probably didn't feel good to like have that have the time run out and basically have to like roll a bunch of dice to try to get your ball carrier into the end zone, and have it not work out.
And not work out in such like a tragic way where it's
Oh yeah, everything except the last couple rolls. Yeah.
yeah, you need to not roll 2 once. You could roll 1-1 and you're fine.
Right. Right. Nope. Got 2 right here. Um, but uh, did manage to get some nice levels.
Yes.
I think one that has been claimed to be the best skill in the game,
Right.
Dirty Player and the Skeleton, which is great to have that like instantly get back in your team after firing the Rat the Third.
Yep.
Um, that was Dirty Player and Sneaky Git.
Yep.
Um, and then getting another guard, Tomb Guardian.
Yeah. And Retricia is just a great piece to have that on, going with
Mm-hmm.
block. Like she
Mm-hmm.
can do everything now.
Yeah. Wait, G. Cole is dead? Wait, no. What's happening?
I thought that was am I?
Is he playing it? Are you playing your game right now? Oh, yeah, the lineman. Yeah. XXX. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Triple X Gentation is dead. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's saying guard guy.
Maybe I screwed up. I don't know.
Was the lineman? Did the lineman have guard on it? Oh, I think the lineman did have guard on it.
That's possible.
Yeah, because I think he was just there to
Oh
keep the
yeah,
other
that
lineman
I screwed
company
that up. Yeah, Triple X Gentation should have guard on him.
on his dead or lineman body.
So yes, so actually yes, that was not a that yes. So that's why the decision of do you Apo him would like there'd be kind of a bit of a decision, given that this was a double to get guard.
Yeah.
And, like that's nice. But it still made sense not to do it.
Not to do it on turn one. Definitely
Yeah.
not. Yep. So it sounds like
Yes,
Gojira just.
I apologize to his family for misrepresenting him.
Yeah, that skill tells a story. Um, so yeah, Gojira, we already kind of walked through it, but congrats on the win, and
Yeah.
congrats on the win and not a tie. So
Yeah.
nice work being patient, getting through that first half with all those KOs and armor breaks, and coming back in the second half to yeah get your way into a position to take that 1-0 score. Um, yeah, I don't think we have anything
Nope.
else.
Nope.
Next one. This was the one we streamed.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I took a few notes on this. So for those who didn't catch the stream, this match started out in a pretty steady downhill for the High Elves right out of the gate. They were on offense to start and took a blitz. Blitz was the kickoff event, and the Necro just started applying pressure from the jump. They didn't. The kick was pretty deep, I think, or mid, just kind of in the middle right of the pitch from the High Elf perspective. But the Necro were set up kind of middle deep, or they weren't too close to the line, so they couldn't really get into the ball. But they did like mark up a few more High Elves, take a blitz on a High Elf, and basically just make it really annoying for them. And the High Elves really couldn't set up well from that. I think the Necro were still playing it smart, where they were blitzing the High Elf. They started blitzing the High Elf like scoring threats versus like going after the ball too hard. But then the High Elves had a moment where a failed dodge left the ball carrier pretty much exposed. It took a GFI from a Flesh Golem to get in to make it a 2-die, but they were able to get a 2-die on the thrower with tackle, knock the ball down, swarm the ball, and take it away. So they then just exchange blows with the High Elves, which generally speaking works out pretty well for them. as you can kind of see. Um, the elves start taking damage. K2 gets injured. It was some sort of perm, but got apoed and brought back. And then Krakatoa got cast. Uh, uh, Kilimanjaro get cast. All in the first half. Like, it just starts piling up. The elves start resorting to fouling, which at the end of the first half didn't really work out for them. They got expelled for nothing more than a stun on a stun player, which was all just kind of unfortunate. And yeah, Necro score on turn 8 of the Elves' drive. So Elves only had, I think a couple people in the KO box, but they only had one chance to bring them back. And I think they started the second half with six players and the Wizard still. And yeah, it just continued to snowball from there. Pinatubo took the MNG from a foul. I think after that we saw a Spite Fireball come down, which only knocked down a few players, didn't do any damage. Necro score in turn 11. Because I think the elves still put some like weird pressure on them a little bit, even with just like 5 of them somehow. But then yeah, after the Necro score, the elves have 5 to do something with, and they actually managed to score in 2 turns because of a snaked Necro GFI that left everything open. The Necro, I thought, were a little casual about like moving players to kind of screen things off, like because I think they did the Flesh Golem GFI like to almost to start it, and didn't have really much marked up when they could have done that, or at least screened. So like that failing meant it was fairly easy for the High Elves to get their score, and then from there the Necro had 4 turns left, and they were able to pretty much just walk on down and score, though they did give up a shot on the ball, but the elves snaked a dodge to make a blitz on it, and yeah, that was that. So I think through that the Necro got a couple, I think their levels through the scores that they were able to do. Stone Ripper and Glorfindel were both through that. And yeah, it was just High Elves didn't really have much that they could do, I think, in response, but they did kind of let up the gas in that first half after the ball got taken away from them. Like, they really didn't like put pressure on the Necro to score fast there.
Yeah, and like there was like the Spite Wizard, which there were some points after that where it might have been actually useful.
Yep. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's tough because I think at that point it was 2-1. There's just
it wouldn't have won you the game, right?
Yeah, or maybe it was actually 1-1 at that point.
Yeah, I think there was at least a situation where it might have made the difference of it being like a tie. But yeah, I don't remember who was on. Was it like the Wolf?
The Wizard?
Yeah.
It was on. There was like 4 players that had been standing around.
But it included like one or both werewolves, right?
Yeah, it included a werewolf and the ghoul and maybe one of the whites.
That sounds right. A lot of high value targets.
So, yeah. But yeah, as far as what both of these teams get out of it, I already mentioned the 2 Necro pieces leveling up, which is nice. Glorfindel gets dodged, so we're definitely leaning into the dodgy white meta, I guess. And
yeah, I mean, of the whites, and like on Necro teams, whites with like werewolves as your blitzers, whites become like kind of utility pieces. And having like them and both of them and one of the Flesh Golems be Blodge this team will be really inconvenient.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think most of the time you're not applying tackle pressure to those pieces. You're looking to get after the werewolves or the ghouls.
Yeah, unless it's dwarf or chorf, teams don't have tackle usually on the pieces that they want to base up against those guys.
hmm hmm Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I have one tackle warrior, and there's a lot of Nurgle coaches that have zero tackle warriors. Like chaos, all three, none of the chaos warriors have tackle
Yeah,
in this div.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And that's who you want to have fight the whites and the golems.
Right, 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 right.
While
Um,
while pestigores focus on, or beastmen focus on werewolves. But
right, right.
but yeah, that's a nice level. And yeah, we've been wondering like, what is Stone Ripper going to become? Like,
Yep,
what do you do with that guy? And we have our answer, right? He's a ball
yep.
carrier.
He's the ball carrier.
Strength full ball carriers with blodge are really convenient.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
now no need to use a reroll to get up the ball, and it doesn't work against him. So
Right.
I think a real solid choice.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. It's very, very inconvenient piece to like have to deal with as a ball carrier. Very, it's a fast piece too,
Yeah.
and yeah, you don't have to bother your other pieces with ball handling duty. They can go about doing their different utility things.
Yeah. Now he just needs an agility increase to go full vampire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
And
Uh,
yeah, Vesuvius sidestep. That's just continuing the kind of high up way of just spamming blodge step.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, obviously rough match for them. Pinatubo being missed next game will be annoying. MVP going to a loner is annoying.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
but
mean, but crowd likes seeing fouls, right? He's in the ejection box.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
he's like talking him up.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
Can
yeah,
always hire him.
I can always, yeah, it's true. I think they had some cash in the bank. So, um, but yeah, that's a wrap on the week, I think. So we're ready to move into leaderboard.
Yep.
And yeah, kind of like I was mentioning earlier, I feel like we're seeing our separation a little bit. It's not that many points, but again, we're further down the rabbit hole of the season.
Yeah,
And so
more that we have now played more than half of the games.
yeah, yeah. So the longer these teams stay at the top, the further away they're going to be, or at least like the less time there is to reverse that for those teams in the second tier there. But I do think all three of these teams kind of rebounded. Goblins deck I think had lost last week or tied last
Yeah,
week.
two. Yeah, Goblins.deck and Go Work Orange had both tied. Sterling Hornet. I'm sorry, had both lost. Sterling Hornets had tied.
Yep, yep. So all three of them coming back for big wins against opponents that were going to be tough for them. I mean, Flyboys against Cowork Orange, I think we were saying was the match of the week. Both were pretty close in points
Yeah.
at the start of that match, and yeah, again, all three of those teams making a statement, especially with the amount at which they won too. For Goblins.deck, putting them
Yeah.
very close to Sterling Hornets for that TD differential, and Go Work Orange put in 2-0 win is a big deal too.
Yeah, particularly because it's worth remembering that who's second and who's third can matter because third doesn't necessarily go on to the challenge. Is it Challenger or Champions Cup? Is it Challengers Cup?
Challengers, yeah.
Okay, it doesn't necessarily go on to the Challengers Cup. So you'd like to be in second place to
Yeah.
know that you get to go there.
Yep.
So yeah, like it's put, we've got Troxburghs trying to chase Goblins.deck as well as Sterling Hornets, and Goblins.deck has put themselves in the position where if they end up in second, it could work Orange in third, like we have here. Even if they were to tie on points, they've got like +3 on them right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like all of them matter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would not, if we hit the end of the season and those three teams were our top three teams, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would not be surprised to see one of them replaced by any of the 2 to 6 teams in the next tier.
Yep.
I think that's also totally plausible. And I think one of them being replaced without specifying which one is, possibly even more likely them being the top three. Though I think at least 2 out of 3 of them are going to make it at this point, that they've proven themselves as very reliable
Yeah,
coaches.
yeah. Again, yeah, being able to bounce back and take on opponents that are fairly, um, not easy. None of the matches during the season are ever going to be easy, but yeah, just taking care of business and uh, and setting the pace is a
Um,
good sign.
yeah, yeah, and they're also teams where they haven't like taken bad injuries. They're not getting destroyed. They're all 3 of them are still healthy.
Yeah, yeah, that's maybe a key factor in all of it. And kind of look down the list and see, uh, yeah, just as we get further down, teams that have just been brutalized with injuries for the most part, except for I think the Khemri haven't taken a lot of injuries. They've definitely given out more than their
Their
share.
problems have been ball handling. That
Yes, yeah,
they've either struggled to get the ball up or they've been sometimes a little casual with protecting the ball, and then they struggle to get the ball up when they're
yeah,
trying to pick it up a second or third time.
yeah, yeah.
That they've been doing a good job with the damage game, and they may make sense at this point in the season. Frankly, if you're at 3 points in week 7, it's a question of do you make it to Div 3 or not is really what you're looking at, and
Yep.
improving your team is more important. And he has been doing a nice job improving his team.
Yeah,
He
definitely.
lost one blitzer near the start of the season. Since then, he's been just getting, refining the team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, look, especially as he gets more development on those Tomb Guardians, like the
Mm-hmm.
thicker those things get with skills, like the worse off opponents are going to be.
Well, and I think he set his team up on the expectation it would be a building season because he went mighty blow on all 4 Tomb Guardians, right? And that's what you do when you're going to be like, I want to get to another level beyond that. If
Yeah,
you want to get
yeah,
games now, you do guard. And so doing guard on none of them says to me that he was looking to do damage, get those guys leveled up, and then next season he'll just like try to steamroll people because they'll be developed enough to be, he's getting guard on them now, and they'll probably all have it by the end of the season if they stay healthy.
yeah. Um, yeah, and at the
And he's agree with that, chat.
yeah, um, and on the reversal, somebody else who's in chat, it's David Leclerc's team, which has taken I think all of the injuries.
Yeah, such a beautiful team at the start of the season,
Yeah, I think I
and it's
was.
still got some nice stuff, but it's not
Yeah,
as pretty as it wants.
yeah, I think they've actually taken as much as our team at the bottom, Cross of the Empire. It's in like the upper to mid 20s in terms of casualties, and so like the fact that they're still in range of like taking a shot at postseason is
Yeah,
is yeah pretty telling to
yeah,
some.
hasn't been bad play. It's been real good play.
Yeah, it's been
Just been rough.
fireballs that have actually killed, and
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I think we're seeing teams kind of settle into a little bit of like where they're going to be, and I think we'll either see things. There's not going to be major drops from here. It's just going to be like teams are either going to tick up or tick down a tier, and it's for teams that are like Silkwood, City Slickers, Rats and Nim. This top tier group is probably looking to be out of your reach a little bit, and yeah, so that's um, unless you catch fire, and one of those teams starts to sink pretty good. But there's
Yeah.
quite a few teams in here that can fill that spot too.
I would say the teams are like there's like particularly like I said, look at like City Slickers and Rats of Nim, who are having like okay seasons. Like if they can improve, what they're really doing that for is to get to Div 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As part of that like slow climb.
Yeah. Yeah. Just continue like, yeah, refine their teams and kind of go. Yeah. It'd be nice if we like kind of knew a little bit of like what that would take to get into Div 3, but I understand that it's impossible to be able to tell that without knowing exactly who's gonna re-roll or who's going to like perform poorly, etc. etc.
Yeah, it seems it's a little more reliable for 4 to 3 than it is. Like each of them gets more. Like there's more variance for like who drops from tier 1, right? Because you can have a season where basically everyone sticks around from tier 1, or you can have a season where, half of them reroll, and that has like massive effects on what you need to do to get up there.
Yeah.
It seems like 4 to 3, you basically want to be in the top half of the div. Top half of the div, something that looks like a winning record.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
And there are teams that are on the cusp of that could move into the top half of the division.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. That's cool. Well, ready to move on to what's coming up this week?
Yeah. Pitpub roasted me a bit in the chat. My elaborate theory for why he's losing as compared to just running out of time on turns.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think Pitpup's real game is trying to do as much damage as possible.
Yeah. That's certainly where you feel the enthusiasm start to like come into his play.
Yeah, definitely.
When it's last quarter and it's like, cool, I get to just kill things.
Yeah.
Well, you get to do what your team's good at.
Right.
Your team's not good at moving the ball. It's not fun to play like the let's move the ball game with Camry because they suck at it.
Yeah.
They're the worst team in the game at it, and it's fun but it's fun. Skeletons are good at fouling.
Yep. Yeah, in a way, there's like a purity to the Camry game that I find kind of appealing. Of just the ball is kind of secondary.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That we've seen a number of times this season that you get to the fourth quarter and it's like, okay, I'm not winning this. I'm not even drawing this. Yeah, let's do some damage, and I totally approve of it, and it makes it fun to watch.
Yeah,
it's beautiful because you can see the turn where it happens because there's such this entire switch from I'm going to playing the ball to playing the man on the ground.
Yeah, it's like you can see what the first turn activation is, and it's usually a Tomb Guardian to like move in, either as a blitz or just like provide an assist for another Tomb Guardian to bash something.
Yeah. Get the 3-die because you can bring plenty of pieces over when you no longer care about the ball carrier.
Yeah, exactly.
But happy to move on to the upcoming games.
Cool. All right, so I think Tim Nielsen predicting earlier he was going to step on a lot of Pro Elf necks, and this will be certainly an opportunity to do a lot of that.
Yeah, so this is our second ranked team, neck and neck with our first ranked team. Only difference is touchdowns, because of the absurd touchdowns of that other team, up against our 14th ranked team.
Yeah, and Pandito really having a hard time this season so far. Has stuck with it, but I can understand frustration setting in at this point in the season. Coming in with so many beautiful stat ups and just having it all melt away, essentially.
Yeah. And it's going to be one of those games where like this is the cycle where the really badly busted up players are in the match. They're not suffering from their MNG because they took another niggle. And Tim really has the piece, like the tools to go after them. Right.
Yeah.
Either, Goblin War Chief, perfect for blitzing Tabalon Cromwella. And either of them can go after the lineman because he's only got guard.
Yeah. Tim thanking me for taking out the thrower.
Yeah. One of the rare like undamaged pieces.
Yeah.
It's just good at its job.
Yep. And yeah, I think definitely this was the first piece to like really take damage, and they had an extra Apo, and definitely it was yeah, death on a blitz. So
Yeah,
definitely don't blame them for using the Apo there to try to get it back.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you can look at the just at the complete opposites in touchdowns for these two teams, and I think that's probably going to be the story again in this game. It's going
yeah.
to be really hard for Cross of the Empire, I think, to slow down Tim Nielsen. We just saw them style on um, Wood Elves. Um,
Yeah.
and while, like Tim was saying, dice going one way or the other, it's still like, yeah, Goblins.deck has a lot of the pieces to, you make one bad roll or one misposition and they're all over you. So I think, yeah, this is going to be really tough for Cross of the Empire. I don't know what they take with these inducements.
Man, it's one of these where I look at these teams, I'm like, oh, only 180.
Yep, that's
Um,
that was my
it's,
thought too.
I mean, it's because the fact that like what little Pandito has, it includes a strength up, two agility ups, and two doubles for guard.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah.
has really expensive pieces for how undeveloped they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, well, and yeah, I mean, you'd be like Wizard is the classic thing, right? But I don't know you'll ever get near enough the ball against Tim Nielsen.
Nope. I don't think so. I don't think you take it.
Apothecary and a babe.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Just be like, I'd like to survive this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Tim's storm vermin are scary. And yeah, if you've paid attention at all to Tim's game plan thus far, it's to stomp on necks, and he's not going to be afraid to foul if one of these agility up pieces is sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that you don't spend any cash because you need it for presumably some of their piece to get to full strength at some point.
Tim, let me ask you: are you keeping the Niggle guy around, or are you just going to replace him with a journeyman? Given we got him here.
Yeah, yeah. Seems like with 116 cash, you can definitely afford one.
But yeah, and I mean, we'll see in the match itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's saying extra guy for Cross of the Empire. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you could do that instead of apothecary. I do the apothecary.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Or
Tim.
he's
I guess
saying,
he's been around for the last few games. He'll continue to keep the Niggle lineman.
yeah. Uh, Tim was saying that the apothecary and an extra guy.
Oh, instead of the Bloodwiser babe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it.
I think the linemen are 60K, in which case
Yeah, they're
the
60K for a pro.
so the merc would be 90, I think.
Yeah, so you'd have to scum 10 to also get
10.
the apothecary, and I don't know that you want to spend any money.
Yeah, I don't think you do, but
So yeah,
yeah, cool.
but not a crazy idea. But yeah, and yep, looks like this will be played Sunday, 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Neither of these guys stream, I believe.
Yeah, I might be able to stream this one.
Maybe,
Yeah,
though it might not be
maybe.
the most exciting match.
It might go pretty fast,
Yeah. That okay? Yes, I guess that's true.
so that'll be exciting. Um, but yeah, no, he probably doesn't want to spend money, and yeah.
Well, Tim, if you want to help him out, the 180 assumes that you take your 160 down to 150, or like
Yeah.
buy a lineman or something. If you keep it at 160, he'll get 190, and then can just go ahead and do that.
Yep, there you
So if you want to be a buddy,
go. I mean, Tim might want to hold on to the cash, but
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think you actually do that.
No, I think you buy another lino,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he knows what he's doing, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
All right, yeah, let's move on to Sterling Hornets and the Mean Green and Thick. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think of Orcs as a team that wants to get 420 in inducements.
Holy shit! I didn't even see that. Um, no, they probably can't use that. Well, maybe. Maybe there's a star player you want.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Yeah, I mean, you could spend. There's a Varag. You could spend 290 to get someone who's block, jump up, mighty blow, thick skull, 6439. Like it's a nice piece,
Whoa.
and that would leave you 130 left over, and you could, you get like a bribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it because I don't. You don't get a wizard. That would be absurd against pro elves. Um, you could do an apothecary on the theory that Clown Thulu does an absurd amount of damage with this team for some reason.
Yeah.
But as a self-respect, could a self-respecting orc take an extra apothecary or a Bloodwiser Babe against pro elves with zero mighty blow on
Oh
the team?
no, no,
Right.
definitely not.
Like that would just be like you could never show your face again at any like orc functions.
Totally.
So
Totally.
like wipe that out. So you do like one bribe, then I think you might do the star player. Just
Yeah.
mighty
Or
blow.
yeah. Or Tim Nielsen offering the Tim Nielsen experience, which is buying a merc or two and like one or two bribes and just like going to Foul Town.
That's actually probably what you do, right? Because an orc lineman is what 60k, 50k base.
50K, I think.
Yeah, so the 50k base it'd be 130 to get one with dirty player, right? Right, and
Oh.
that's then still leaves you to 290. That's two bribes and then another 90k.
Yeah.
Actually, this is
Jeez.
almost too much money. You can do two of them, right?
Two what?
Like
Mercs?
just two mercs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could do two mercs. That'd be 260. That leaves you with 160. You could do a bribe and then scum another bribe.
Yeah. When he's
Just foul him like continuously.
right. Uh, you can only get two what
You,
bribes?
you could definitely get more than two bribes. I played
Yeah,
goblins. You could get a lot of bribes.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think the only things you have limits on are like the wizard,
One
ex-
wizard.
one extra apo, I think,
I think that is correct.
or two at most. I think. I don't
Right.
know. We're just making up stuff now. Um, yeah, and then you can do as many linemen as you have spaces for.
Right. The positionals you're limited by the actual positional spaces, but you could do as many linos as you like. I believe.
Oh yeah, Pip Up. You can totally buy temporary players with specific skills. Uh,
Yes. So yeah,
perhaps a little foreshadowing for you.
yeah, and just to be clear, because the interface it's not obvious. The way you do it is you scroll through the list of options until you see mercenary, and there'll be like offers for different mercenary positions. If you have all of your positionals, you can't select any of them. But if you go to the lineman, they'll always be available unless you have 16 players. You then click, hire as merc, and then a pop-up will show up, which is, do you want to give this guy a skill? And if you say yes, then you go to like a skill selection interface. It has to be something they can get on normals. And yeah, and a merc costs the pieces value like 50k for an orc lineman plus 30k plus 50k if you get a skill.
Yeah, yeah,
So they
30.
end up being 30k over their like in terms of like they're like 30 over their real value. If you just get a normal one, they're like 60 over their real value. If you get one with a level.
Yeah, basically, yeah. What Tim and David said in chat, except slightly different, but yeah, that's the math.
Yeah, and dirty player is like the classic thing to do it with,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because so many people don't get linemen to a point where they can get one. They can get just have the spare dirty player guy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's really handy for that.
Particularly orcs, where like orc linemen are pretty good.
Yeah,
They're AB9.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Don't come out of the box with anything, but you don't really. If you're getting on dirty player, that's all you need them to do. Yeah, this could be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. War Dancer with strip ball is great because it's a War Dancer is an incredible piece, and paying 80k to get one, it's still worth it. Absolutely. if you're like down one. This is something David Leclerc was saying in chat.
Yeah, and in some cases, just like I think we're all saying, in some cases it could be a better or much better use of funds versus a star player. Star players are very fun and offer a unique skill set and obviously more than one skill. But sometimes you just need one piece to do one specific thing with one additional skill.
Right, and that's why the dirty player ones so often be what you see mercs get used for,
Mm-hmm.
because there are no. I think there was like one or two dirty player star players, but they're rare.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're never like a stripped down like a rotter with dirty player. Like that's not what you would want.
Right, 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 right.
They're always it's like you'll have to do with like mighty blow and claw and like dirty player. And it's like, oh no.
Yeah. Right.
Like I think Lord Borak might have dirty player or something.
Oh my gosh. That is a cool
and yeah,
model,
and they're super expensive, and you would never like want to foul with them.
yeah.
Whereas, yeah, a temp guy. But yeah, if you're down a positional and you have cash, like get a mark. They're generally a better value than a star player, particularly if you have a positional. You can put them on.
Yeah.
We've seen the Pimp, the Chorf coach, do that a number of times with getting blockers in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once he like had this weird cycle of blockers getting hurt, he was doing that for a couple matches. Tim Nielsen's been getting Skaven Lyman, I think, all season.
Yeah, Tim Nielsen's saying, yeah, you can see in the interface how many you're allowed to get of each thing.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, but I think this is. I still don't feel resolved about this one. I mean, I want to say Sterling Hornets because they have been playing so well, but this is an interesting matchup for them because it is a team to stand up to their bullying.
Yes, this is one of the least likely teams that they'll be able to push around. And yeah.
I think if I had to say one way or the other, I'd say probably Sterling Hornets is able to get a 2-1 win out of this. Just because the Orcs have seemed to like hit their limit with scoring once. And elves can just score at whim if they want. These elves just like to punch people. But there is a small but exciting possibility of Sterling Hornets getting into a scrum with Orcs and just like imploding.
Yeah.
I don't think it happens. But yeah, I mean, it could change based on like how the Orcs want to spend these inducements.
Yeah.
And just like people are saying,
if it works.
Yeah, and if it works, right. So if they go for the dirty player and bribes, and that works, that could be game.
And I will note, 2 of the best pieces on the Pro Elves team are niggled.
Yep.
Now it's hard to identify exactly which the best pieces are because there's so many good pieces,
Ugh.
but still, 2. I think those are reasonably 2 of the better pieces on the team.
Yeah, and they do have a killer. I mean, they have Guiley who can kill things.
Yeah, Guiley's great fit for this match.
Yes.
So much 87 for him to go, piling on. He's got tackle and he's got jump up and move up, so he can do that and then still maybe go chase someone the next turn.
Yep. This will be one to watch.
But yeah, we haven't been doing predictions, but this is one, where I feel like it's either going to be like 3-0 Hornets or like 1-2 Orcs.
Yeah, or like
and that's going to go. Yeah, and it's going to go based on damage.
Yep. So yeah, very interested to see how this goes. So even though we said Sterling Hornets made their statement game last week, I think they got to keep showing up and they got to keep keep fighting it out.
And of course, now that we've predicted that, or like they said that the Orcs are trying to do damage, what will actually happen is that like Furious Fred will die.
Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. And Guiley will take like a movement bust or something.
Yeah.
Sorry for jinxing your team. So, yeah. Uh, cool. All right. Next match, also a pretty good one.
Our
Uh,
Soul Claw and Claw match. Actually, no, that's not true because you have Claw.
yeah, I guess that counts.
Our
Uh,
Soul Claw and Mighty Blow on Claw and Mighty Blow match.
yeah. So
Oh, and there's the Skaven too. There's a bunch of it. I'm being
yeah,
dumb.
yeah. It's fine. It's fine. So
Nevertheless, this is an interesting one. Very close TVs for these teams, assuming
yeah.
that they both ditch a bunch of money.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think we know where Troxburg puts it. He doesn't need to buy anything, and he's 100 away from his level 2 stadium. So I assume we'll see that this week.
What's the stadium that works for him?
I assume for Chaos it's the same one that I do for Nurgle, which is Anti-Riot, because it is brutal as a bash team to like perfectly stall for 8 turns, and then instead of getting up a 1 turn, you give up a 2 turn.
Yeah.
Which is just a radically different thing to protect against, particularly since you're going to set up for the 1 turn defense.
Yeah.
And then it's like the Riot, and it's like, well, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I do. And it also stops pitch invasion, which can be really inconvenient.
Yeah.
But you could do Bribe Stadium. You could do the one that stops throwing rocks because who likes taking a rock?
Oh yeah, I could see him doing that.
Or you could do Weather Dome because you want to be able to actually move the ball. But he's got EG4, so it's less of a big deal for him.
Yeah, it probably doesn't do that. Though the news about that has been pretty exciting with the mod to erase the blue haze.
Yeah.
Though I don't know, I've never found it that offensive, but I don't usually play in one, so.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing is like I lean away from that maybe because like owning one because of that. But given that, I don't mind seeing it every once in a while. It's like, oh, this is odd and like bad, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I wouldn't want to play in the rain all the time, but
right.
I'll play under the dome every once in a while.
Yeah.
But the actual match,
right? Yeah, Arf. I don't know. I think if Troxburg's has, like a focus strategy like they did against Flyboys, I think they can handle Arf. Arf it is pretty much a loose cannon, I'd say. And like I think that kind of works for Necro a little bit of just like throwing werewolves at stuff and just like you just don't know what's like coming at you. Like Flesh Golem could be GFIing in and but I mean I think it'll be interesting to see if the utility that we talked up of Arf with the Blodge Flesh Golem and the Blodge Whites, if that will be enough with like the Mighty Blow Werewolves to carry the day versus Troxburg's like solid line of like block and guard and Mighty Blow and Claw.
Yeah, it's if Blodge does a thing, right? If like those dodge results keep coming up, then the fact that Troxburg only has one tackle piece and it's the Wrestle Beastman is going to be a real problem for him.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't come up and instead Hassan is just murdering things because he manages to find that POW, then the game could swing really, really badly against Punosaurus.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think the same could be said for these werewolves. Like, werewolves, I don't feel like they've been super killy, but that doesn't mean they can't start. And just like, if they get a removal on a Chaos Warrior, doesn't matter which one in the beginning of this match, that makes this a game.
Yeah, you really, really want all 4 of those warriors on the field.
Yeah.
For as much of the game as possible. Yeah. Like being down even 1 just makes your life so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Because you kind of want them to work in pairs to help support each other a little bit. And it's nicer to have like 2 pairs because you can be controlling, like say on your offense, you can have like 2 of them helping out with the cage and then 2 of them pushing upfield to try to claim new territory with the Beastmen supporting them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And going down to 3 is really bad. Going down to 2 is really, really bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um, yeah. And they don't. Uh, David's pointing out in chat like only two of the Warriors have guard. There's not a ton of guard, and
yeah,
you're not ahead on strength in this matchup like you would be in others. You are a little bit, but not
not
a
technically.
ton.
Technically, both teams have 4 strength 4 pieces. That said, you're not.
Oh, the
That said,
ghoul.
Stone Ripper presumably is not going to be basing many Chaos
Yeah,
Warriors
let's see it. Yeah, just like acting like the ghoul's a chaos
unless
warrior.
he really, really regrets that like sure hand pick.
Yeah, 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 totally. Da, 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 da. Oh man, I.
Yeah, I remember that pit pop. That werewolf just went after those Tomb Guardians.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is going to hit Chaos Warriors turn after turn,
yeah. He's such a
and
loose cannon with them, and if it works, it's gonna be it's gonna be tough. Like, Troxbergs is a very measured and considered coach, I think, and that I think will probably win out the day. But Mighty Blow werewolves aren't the funnest thing to deal with.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you've watched Troxburg streams, he has a piece of paper that he keeps by him that is a list of like specific goals
Right,
and strategies for
right.
his match, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like so,
yeah,
like in the last match where he kept sending Hessite after Air Power, the ogre,
yeah, yeah,
he had it listed down: send Hessite after Air Power, the ogre,
yeah.
right? And it's like, and then when he did that, he crosses that off because he's he's
Yep,
done that thing.
done and done.
And
Yeah,
he's a guy who thinks about the match ahead of time, has specific plans of what to do. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he plays.
yeah.
It's sometimes easy to forget that like I watch most matches each week, so I've seen Ponazors play half a dozen matches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh yeah, the werewolves. He loves to blitz with them and then dodge away.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
I wonder how much Troxbirds is like aware of that.
yeah. I'm curious. All our recaps are a wealth of information.
But
Um,
yeah, Pit Pop pointing out that Troxbird slowly suffocated him. Didn't give a lot of openings. Every once in a while, we see him make like a mistake, and those werewolves can really punish you if you do.
yeah, yeah,
So he needs to like not leave Aconite exposed on the wrong turn.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because if he or Little Unk goes out, that is a huge part of Go Work Orange's gameplay, just like gone.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, and Tim Nielsen pointing out that he did Goblin's Set deck did put Truxburgs on tilt earlier this season, and oh yeah, and with dwarfs before. I remember that. Well, I remember that season. You guys were all on Div 4 with me. But yeah, I think that while he is very measured, if things don't go according to plan, um, he can get frustrated and then lose sight of like what plan B could be.
Yeah,
Um,
I would say a lot of the times we see Troxbirds make a mistake, it's because something went wrong, and
mhm.
then his first reaction to that isn't it includes a mistake in it that then makes it harder for him to react. And sometimes he recovers really well. Like
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
like
yeah,
all of the time,
yeah.
but generally that's when you see mistakes come in. Is it's like, oh, I let like a line of elves get in between me. My ball carried most of my team. How do I deal with that shit?
Yeah,
Didn't do it quite well enough.
right.
Um, didn't work out. Or I need to go collect with this guy. Well, I'll just do this hit beforehand. Oh shit, he sidestepped on me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we're making up a case for it being a very interesting match, but I could see this very, easily being handled by Troxburgs too.
Yeah.
It, but it's Blood Bowl, so things can happen, and I think Ponosaurus is going to play the way he's been playing this whole time, and it's gotten him to 3-2-2, which is pretty respectable. And who knows?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is one time where I see the like TV difference, which is not that much. I'm like, yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah.
Um, I think I like the chaos build a little bit more than the necro, but
Hmm.
part of that cost is just like the specialized the like the werewolves, right? Right.
Right.
Front and center, like you have star players. That's how Necro work. Versus like Chaos Warriors, you have the four of them, and they do their thing, and Beastmen do their thing, and but yeah, this feels like a very even match on paper. So cool. Yeah, so we've got cheers for Wolfenstein and Chaos Warriors dying. So
It's strange how you never hear people being like, "I hope this piece lives."
yeah. Ultra Craig. I hope Ultra Craig lives.
That's true. Yeah.
But that's
we
that's
wish
just
for
me.
it as the recap.
Yeah, that's true. That's different. That's different. All right. So on to want Mick Blitzer to live forever. I do love Mick Blitzer. It's such a yeah. Okay, on to Tana Brewers and Peak Altitude. So, is this new? Is this a new stadium? Security gate? I don't remember this being a thing. Anyway, yeah, I feel like he always has cash.
I'll check what we
Okay. Yeah, so 380 to the High Elves. Well, this is another match too where I know we said this last match where something's got to give for Tana Brewers. It was Tana Brewers and All Bark No Bite, and All Bark No Bite had been taking a lot of casualties. Tana Brewers couldn't hand it out, and well, we saw which way that broke for that match.
So Tainted Brewers has had this all season, the security gate. He just never plays at home.
Oh, wow.
He's played at home like twice so far.
Oh, okay.
Not never, but like it has been significantly less than half.
Interesting.
So
yeah, it's weird how that all rolls out. But yeah, here we have another elf team they're going up against that has seen the casualty bug come in quite a bit. And so we'll be interested to see if this will be the match that Tana Brewers get their groove back for dishing out casualties or not.
Yeah, they will be coming in with 6 blockers, which I think it's been a couple games since they've had all 6 on the field.
Yep.
We got Peter Cook with Pilot on. That's new. And 380. You definitely do Wizard, and then what do you want past that, right? It's 230, and it's are you going to invest that in a star player, or are you going to get your Apo and your Bloodweiser Babes?
Yeah, I think you do probably just get if you're going to get any extra players, you just get a lineman, like a Merc lineman, and then extra Apo.
Yeah, I mean the argument for a star player would be that Eldril's 200, and so Eldril plus a Wizard is 350. And what an incredible combination! But it's that is you going in on I want to win this match at all costs as compared to protecting my team, and I don't know if I do that when I'm in 12th place. Yeah,
that's what I'm wondering about.
Like you do the Wizard because you have the money for it, and it so messes with the other and you try to hold on to it as long as possible to force them to react to it, to be less able to body you up because they're trying to have double screen in front of the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, just survival stuff.
Yeah, they also, I think they just don't have enough, big pieces to really make a big push for a win. Yeah. You can make a couple big plays happen, but you got to, withstand when you're playing against Chorfs or, dodge out or, try to get out of the way. But
particularly Chorfs with 13 players, 2 of which have dirty player. But yeah, Pimp's team is looking really nice.
I know. This is why I picked it to win the start of the season.
5 guard. You have all the blockers, but the one true killer.
Yeah, and at least
both centaurs are looking nice. 2 dirty players, and then 2 really good hobgoblins. You don't always see that. It's like
Yeah.
actually good hobgoblins, and they're both good and interesting in different ways.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and pretty much not been touched by the injury bug except for Peter Cook. So yeah, it looks like a really nice Chorf team. But I know, and yeah, you've been watching the streams too. Pim Pimp is basically like done with them. It feels like
Yeah,
just has no love for this team at all.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just they haven't been able to get the casualties he's wanted, which means he hasn't got as many wins as he'd like, and so he's just kicking around in fifth place. And I think, yeah, feeling a little dejected about that.
Yeah.
I think there's like a couple of games where it's like if he'd gotten more casualties, if he wasn't actually like 9 to 10 on casualties, which is really weird for chores.
Yeah. Yeah.
He probably feels like there's another match or two that he wins or draws, and if he does that, then he's up in the like trucks birds, like maybe not in first place, but like more in contention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm sympathetic to that.
Yeah.
But it's still a great team. There was certainly not the complaint of, oh, my team has imploded and they're not even fun to play anymore. Like,
Yeah.
it's a great team.
Yeah. Got David and Tim Nielsen talking about the two level 3, 4 hobgoblins.
I'd probably fire Richard Burden.
Yeah, they're
That would be that's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like the way that this team is played, the hobgoblins is what have kept them in this game or in matches. Like those two hobgoblins are what won him the match against me.
Yeah, and I think he likes having two of them that can work as a ball carrier because he so often has one of them off the field.
Yeah,
They're
right.
constantly leaving the field.
Yeah,
and it's nice to have a backup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear the. I mean, I can hear the argument that they're expensive, but as someone who used to carry around 120K guard fouling piece, yeah. What?
Well, I mean, that's not selling me on the idea.
People like people like what they like.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what I would say is if Richard Burden hits the point that he has sure hands, then you would consider firing Ramses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But you want him to be like strictly better than.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I generally
or for it to be playoffs, right? Like that's the other thing is if you're thinking about trying to get there, if you get to Challengers Cup, then you look at your first opponent and like, oh, I'm giving up a wizard. Then you fire one.
Yeah, where it becomes a TV management game. Yeah, I mean, I generally don't like having two built ball carriers or potential ball carriers. I don't know what else to call both of them. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I don't hate it at this point in the season for them both to exist. There'll become a time when they become inefficient, but
yeah,
I think it's okay.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, I think this one's gonna be tough for Peak Altitude, even with that much inducements, even getting a wizard. They've had it tough against Bash or even hybrid teams.
Yeah,
and I don't know that they have enough tools to really hold off the Chorf team and be able to pull out a win here. But we'll see. We'll see Saturday at 2 p.m.
Yep. And Pim Pim streams, so I look forward to hearing complaints about how he can't break armor against Highlands.
Yep. Yep. All right. Moving on to my match versus Craig Pippa.
Yeah, I'm going to be excited to see what pieces on your team die in the fourth quarter. My money is on Billy Cheese Dog. You'd think it'd be Jambalaya with the armor bust, but it's going to be the movement bust.
The movement bust. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because he's not going to be able to run away fast enough.
No, he's not. David's saying I'm just going to dice him too. It's dice or be diced, right? So I think it's time for me to get diced.
Yeah. That's kind of been your season. Like you, it's
Yeah,
It's been a lot of swingy games.
yeah. Past 2 seasons, that's how it's been. Either just like roll or get rolled. Um, this one, obviously kind of scary. Just because of how like Craig Pipup is set up. Tomb Guardians aren't very fun to deal with, even with I have some Dauntless block pieces, but it's not like I really want to go relying on that unless I have to. Um, so yeah, um, we'll see. We'll see. Somebody's saying just get 4 bribes.
You know, a couple bribes is probably pretty likely. Like
Yeah. Um, Nuffle's Altar will bring the cost of any special player down for them.
we've seen so few of those out of Pip-Up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there's not like a great cheap piece for him to bring in. Like I was just looking at that. Like you get Sinidbad for 80K, so it'd be
Mm-hmm.
30K. But that dude's got it's like a weird stabbing secret weapon guy. Like he kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You could get Hack and Slash. He's normally 120. He goes down to 70.
Hmm.
But like Chainsaw, I picture Chainsaw against like high armor teams where it's like just hard to get enough assists. Not
Yeah.
so much 87, even a little 86. Easy enough to foul you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. 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 And that's what
so
you're good at. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What's the one with like Juggernaut?
that's Sedek. Normally he's 220. He'll drop to 170, which means
Mm,
after that there would still be 240 left over, which is a couple bribes.
250 because I'm gonna be getting my boy Boomer.
Okay, yes, you'll be getting Boomer, so yeah, it'll be 250. So that would be like a couple bribes and like a Babe.
Yep.
And I don't hate a Babe. You could easily end up with you have some bash pieces. Uh, could be some chaos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Some KOs and Skellies and stuff. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to play this super as more elfy uh, than not, just
Yeah,
because. Yeah, I don't want
I
to
mean,
get tangled with Tomb Guardians.
yeah, I mean, it seems like the strategy that works is you try to get to the point where you're gonna like you play the ball, you get the ball, you get up enough that you're gonna win, and then you just try to keep your team alive. You just run away. This will be
Yeah,
where Frig Newtons is really happy about break tackle because he'll just be like 2+ dodge. I'm out of here, suckers. On
yeah,
move 6.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Like that's like 2 turns worth of movement for you guys, right?
Oh man, my team looks so beautiful right now. I don't think this is gonna go well.
Yeah, I expect you to lose something this match.
Yeah,
I don't actually know what it is going to be, but I would be surprised if all of 666 through Frigg come out of this alive.
yeah,
At
yeah.
least without a perm.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to know what to what to appo. I think, but
Yeah, those berserkers, right? Because they're such essential pieces, but they're
mm-hmm,
both already injured.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I would think it's the thrower, the runners, and the ulfs.
mm-hmm,
I would abandon both berserkers no matter what they took.
mm-hmm.
And the Yeti's got no skills, so you can't
Yeah.
protect it.
Right. Oh man, even even Pip Pup calling it, saying
Yeah,
rats love cheese,
yeah,
coming for Billy. Uh, yeah.
yeah. I hope you come out of the match with at least one berserker.
I think it'll probably happen because I'll probably stun somebody with them pile on and get fouled to death
Yeah,
because I just can't resist piling on stuns.
sounds about right.
So yeah, there you have it. Pip Up, you have all the insider information you need. Uh, but yeah, hopefully I don't lose both berserkers. I've done that before, and it is a rough road to rebuilding. Yeah, Tim Nielsen doesn't care because he's already played both of us and beat us. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. All right, let's move on. Oh man. Oh right. I was like, I thought we already had this match. We have.
Yep.
Yeah.
So not going to go super in depth on this one, I think, considering it's already been played.
Mm-hmm.
But and I have seen the result.
Spoilers in chat too. Jeez, David.
All right.
Jeez. Uh,
But yeah, Wood Elves on Wood Elves. One with it. Both have their tree man.
yeah.
I have not watched this replay yet, so I only know the top line,
Yeah. Same.
which I won't reveal.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that they tangle with each other at some point. But yeah, it's is it the better developed Wood Elves, or is it the Wood Elves that get inducements? Is really the question. Because I assume that a wizard is part of that 270, and then something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think. Raven Poe. Yeah, definitely seems to. Oh man, David's saying nope. I'm fine with the inducements being spoiled.
Yeah.
But yeah, no wizard. Okay, maybe you just got like 2 bribes. Or is there a star player you get? Zara!
Oh yeah.
Wow. Do Wood
She's
Elves
exactly
get
270.
Yeah, do Wood Elves get Zara because she has a tree stake? I mean, that's the only question I have there.
That's an interesting
Zara
choice.
is an interesting choice, yeah.
I'm curious to watch the match and see how that worked out for him.
Definitely.
Because that would not have occurred to me.
Nope. But yeah, having a strength 4 piece around that can stab.
Stab against AV7.
These little dodgy, sidesteppy elves, yeah.
Yeah, because Raven Poe's only got 1 tackle piece in this match. And so somebody that can just ignore Blodge and be like, I'm just going to try to stab you.
Yeah.
Not crazy. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I definitely want to watch that match then.
Yeah.
So, cool.
But,
yeah, no need to talk about it too much further, I guess.
Yep. Our last match of the week.
Yeah. We got a couple kind of our midish tier teams. I feel like you can't ever count out the Ratsanim until Martin Brisby dies. And even then, Justin's like, but I'm here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, down Mrs. Brisby, who was a 2 heads block, agility up, gutter runner. Or maybe just agility up, 2 heads. One of those 2.
There was block.
Okay, so yeah, those 3 skills I listed then.
Yeah.
Great piece.
Yeah.
Tragic loss.
Yeah.
Killed by the crowd.
Yeah.
And the humans down air power just for the week, but piece they would have liked to have.
Yep. Yeah. Neither team with much cash. Okay. Because
Richard Bong is new.
Yep.
That was Bike Hawk, who died.
Yeah.
Brand new blitzer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this one's probably going to be my guess would be it's a tie. And because 1 turns happen, and Flyboys have been struggling a little bit on the offensive side. Though they do have Chuck Yeager back. Yes. Is that really a thing, Tim Nielsen? Have you been crying out for this new blitzer? Yeah. So I think we see a tie, maybe a 2-2 tie. But yeah, I think there's a world in which Flyboys is able to score once or twice, but then gets countered by the 1-turner. Because I don't think Rats and them are going to make the same mistake as last week, trying to do like Rat Ogre things before the 1-turn.
Yeah.
I think they just try to get it done.
Yeah. David Leclerc pointed out that if you're going to miss the Ogre for some game, this is a good one to do it in. It means you give up a little less in inducements, and this is probably his least useful match, given that the Rat Ogre is not that hard to fight. It's just not that scary a piece, and everything else is kind of weak. The Storm Vermins aren't developed at all.
Yeah.
So I think he can live with it, but it's you would still prefer to have it, given that even without it you're already giving up a wizard probably.
Yeah. 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 Um, oh man, I am just loving that Richard Bong is a thing.
Interesting. That's a real person.
Yeah, he names most of them after like real flyboys or
Okay.
something along other than the ogre, right? Just like air power, which
Yeah.
yeah, it's what you do for the big guys. You give them something weird.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But yeah, obviously like Chuck Yeager breaking the speed of
Yeah.
sound and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so um, yeah, I think this will be it will be interesting to see how Flyboys reacts to losing last week in a pretty big match. Reacts to losing their ogre, though, like we said, this isn't a bad matchup to not have it. They're still giving up 220 in inducements
Yeah.
without it, and yeah, I think yeah, I think this one's going to be a tie. You can't unless you can find a way to get Martin Brisby on the field and punch it and get it out of the match.
Yeah. Because there's just it's gonna be really hard to stop the rest of them from getting 2 touchdowns, right? Turn 1 or turn 9, and then the one after you get yours.
Yeah.
And the question is, can you get 2 to tie it, or do you lose 2-1?
Yeah.
Unless you're able to get Martin Brisby on the field, and or he screws up the way, sometimes it doesn't work out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that's a huge difference. But it's hard to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tim pointed out that the Rats and Nim are really undeveloped. Yeah. That has been true this whole season, and they still managed to like put up 3 ties and a win.
Because they were the like half a season in like ramp up, right?
Yes, they were the team that had done, I think, 6 matches. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, where we were like, ooh, and they were like late coming to the division, and we were like, maybe they were like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, they made it in, and yeah, I've kind of been developing some pieces though. Losing Mrs. Brisby last week, like we've already said, was like one of the nicer, if not nicest pieces. Their Storm Vermin have just been sitting undeveloped this whole season. Even the one they lost wasn't developed, and so now, still just with 2 basic Storm Vermin. Would really like to see those start getting some touchdowns at some point. Yeah, I think there's definitely there's been like some conflicting, it seems like, thoughts from them on like how they want to kind of to like develop their team. Like they're chasing after the multiple 1-turn dream, I guess, we talked about with Justin, and at the same time like they really need to like level up some other pieces to kind of even things out for them.
Yeah.
So it is definitely tough to do it in a division where everybody's already games ahead of you. So yeah, I think they've definitely done well to get to the point they're at right now, for sure. So, but yeah, that's the I think that's the last last match of the week.
Yep.
Be interested to see that one. Also doesn't have a streamer, so maybe we can catch that one. We'll see.
That one could be really exciting.
Yeah, definitely could be high flying. Would you say? Okay, my pun.
Well, now that I know that's a pun, I would not say that.
Yep, and I think that's how we're gonna end for the week.
Thanks to everyone for watching. Looking forward to your matches.
Yeah, definitely, and thanks for hanging out and feeding us lots of good things to bounce off of. That really has been making things a lot of fun. We say this also every week, or Kodiak says this most weeks. Thank you to those who are streaming a bunch. Much appreciated. And for those, I know there's a few folks that have been like starting out new doing that too. If you need any assistance with like, getting things going from a technical standpoint, I think both of us are willing to help. We also have the 4D Discord. Feel free to throw up test streams in there, have people check those out. And but regardless, thanks to those who are putting up the matches so we don't have to.
And similarly, we really appreciate when people like post when their matches are going to be in the 4D Discord,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it makes it easier to, like, particularly if you're streaming. Like, I'll put that on my calendar. Like, hey, if I'm around at 3 p.m., check it out.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a fun 7 weeks, and we're in the downhill of the season. Very interested to see how things shape up. And yeah, here's to everyone's week eight matchups. We'll catch you all next week.
Yep.
Bye.